Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's scene recording. I'm Jess Painter, and I am one of the BFI Film Academy Young Programmers. In this scene series, we'll be speaking to the award-winning filmmakers of this year's BFI Future Film Festival about their films, their experiences of the festival, and what they're planning to do with their prizes. Hopefully, some of you watching were able to join us at this year's BFI Future Film Festival, whether in person at the BFI South Bank, online, or at events happening across the UK. You can still watch a lot of the online recorded events on the BFI YouTube channel, so do check those out because there's lots of great ones on there. So today I am incredibly excited to be talking to the winner of the Best Animation Prize, Song Ye, for her amazing film Unrecognized Character Detected. So thank you so much for being here, Song Ye. Huge congratulations on winning the Best Animation Prize at Future Film Festival, sponsored by BlinkInk. Before we talk a bit more about the festival and your prize, I would love to talk a bit about Unrecognized Character Detected. Could you give a brief introduction to the film? What is it about?
Unrecognized Character Detected creates an absurd science fiction story mocking the idea that humans actually originated from a coincidence between two quarrelsome aliens and a machine that can create everything, illustrating how humans are born amidst quarrels, accidents, and messiness. This short film combines live-action shooting with 2D character animation. The appearance, interior space, and wreckage of the spaceship are all handmade. The film includes specialized designs for various elements such as alien languages and text. So that's about it.
It's a brilliant film, one of my favorites in the festival. And one of the things that you mentioned there, which I really loved about the film, was how you used science fiction, as you say, to imagine the creation of life on Earth. What made you want to explore these ideas in your film?
This film was inspired by Stanislaw Lem's novel, The Cyberita, Fables for the Cybernetic Age. Although I have forgotten most of the plot, I was deeply moved by the way his novel treats the fate of humanity and the universe with such a light-hearted touch. I want to highlight this kind of storytelling where significant events emerge from seemingly trivial everyday moments. The creation of life is a concept that can be beautifully conveyed through visuals, which is why I chose this scene.
I love what you say about kind of the light-hearted characters and the sort of triviality. The characters in your film, they're so original. They're really visually engaging, they're humorous, but they're also really complex in their designs and motivations. I would love to know about how do you come up with those characters and how do you actually create them?
As I mentioned before, they originate from Stanislaw Lem's novel and are based on two scientists from the book. Although they are highly capable, each has their own character flaws. In the film, the red character is hot-tempered, highly driven, and eager to prove himself, while the blue character is sharp-tongued, extremely lazy, and indulges in leisure. This contrast creates a dynamic tension between them with a constant back and forth interaction. Visually, I designed them with distinct shapes, one tall and thin, the other short and round, which feels uh, reminiscent of classic comedy roles. In fact, these two character types almost appeared in my mind instantly without much deliberation. To further emphasize their personalities, I added some details, such as the blue character entering the scene with the drink in his mouth and a handheld game console around his neck. This immediately established a strong first impression of his laid-back and unserious nature.
I love how distinct the characters were. They were really both so likable and memorable. And yeah, I kind of want them on a t-shirt. They were so cute as well. Um, one thing I also wanted to talk to you about, and another great thing about your film, which was also mentioned when you received your award, was the way that you used mixed media. So you had like claymation elements, you had physical set elements, and you had kind of more traditional 2D animation all together in the same film. What made you want to include so many different types of animation in your film?
Actually, a few years ago, I was doing some background painting work. At that time, I started feeling a bit burned out with painting, realized that I couldn't achieve a breakthrough through painting alone. At the same time, my interest in handcrafts grew. I had always been fascinated by door houses and some similar crafts. So I decided to create the animated things by building physical sets. I thought to myself, why not use as many different methods as possible to complete an animation? I want to experiment with various animation techniques and explore different approaches to filmmaking. However, after finishing all the sets, I completely lost the desire to do any more handicrafts. Yet I must thank the craft world for rekindling my love for painting. Making animation truly special is its ability to recreate sensations and craft the experiences through a wide range of techniques. What matters most is the feeling you want to convey. Once you have that, you can use any means, any method to bring story to life. So what really matters is your feeling.
Yeah, I think it made the film so visually engaging. And I love that thing you say about the senses because, I think it allowed us into a kind of sci-fi world, which feels quite unfamiliar. But all that mixed media, I think, crafted this amazing, yeah, sort of space setting, which I think would have been hard to imagine otherwise. You sort of said a little bit about it, but what were the challenges of making this film? What were the challenges of using all these different animation styles?
Creating this project was an extremely exhausting and demanding experience. While working on it, I did not think about when it would ever end. I just endured it step by step, like trying to catch a train while carrying all my luggage, taking one step at a time with no other option and never being able to let go any of it. All of the props in the film were made from paper clay, tin foil, and cardboard. Uh, as a result, I had to repeatedly go through the process of making models, um, and this process was all the more challenging due to the very limited workspace. As I had to fit many items on the table, leaving it cluttered everywhere. And part of the filming was done at home, while another portion took place in the school studio. Uh, I shot continuously from midnight until 10 a.m. That 10 hours of shooting straight left me completely drained. I had to numb my mind just to force myself to keep going. And some scenes that took weeks to create only appeared for less than a minute in the final film. This project continuously pushed my nerves to the limit. I worked on it every single day without pause. Over these 2 years, I also experimented with many other approaches, learned new techniques, and then integrated those insights back into the project. Overall, it has been a very uh, psychological process.
That sounds like so much work. And it sounds like you had such a sort of steely determination to get through that. I mean, it definitely paid off. It's a visually brilliant film. And I'm so glad that you won the prize because, that is so much work. I mean, wow, it's very inspiring to hear you talk about it. Um,
Uh,
I want to hear a little bit more about then how you actually got into animation. So when did you start making animated work and what drew you to that form of filmmaking specifically?
I have always studied animation in China. Initially, I want to pursue visual communication design, but I later realized that I had always been deeply immersed in novels and films. I had a strong desire to tell stories and build worlds. Despite the fact that China's animation industry was quite stagnant at that time, I still chose to major in animation during my second year at college. I didn't study live action filmmaking, probably because it was too expensive to produce. Moreover, animation offers much more creative freedom. I can fully create diverse worlds purely through drawing.
I can't imagine how you would have been able to make that film with live action filmmaking. It feels, as you say, very unique to animation. I'd like to talk a little bit now about the prize, the Best Animation Prize, sponsored by BlinkInk that you won. How did you feel when you found out that you'd won the prize?
I was really quite surprised and never expected to win this award. This film had this short film had previously won Best Student Animation at International Animated Film Festival of Portugal, which was also something I had no forewarning about. I even missed the email for recording my acceptance speech of that festival, and I feel really bad about it. This was because I had faced several setbacks the year before, and after graduating, I was feeling quite lost. As a result, I had a very low self-assessment and didn't want to check my email often. So I am truly grateful to the film festival for giving me this award, which affirms the value of my work and indirectly helps improve my emotional state. And after winning, I also checked out the animation projects from the jury, BlinkInk, and was pleasantly surprised to find that they produced the series I absolutely love. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I really admire their animation style, and receiving such recognition is undoubtedly a huge encouragement for me.
That must have been such a full circle moment then, seeing that they produced a show that you'd loved. And I'm so sorry to hear that you didn't want to open
Yeah,
your emails, and I'm so glad that you had a positive thing. Um, let's talk a bit about the money that's attached to the prize. It's £1,500 in prize money. I want to know, what are you going to do with that? Have you got any plans for how you're going to spend it?
I haven't really thought about it much since I have low material desires and my income isn't very stable right now. The prize money might go toward buying some art supplies, books, or I might just save it for emergencies.
That sounds like a good way to spend the money, to be fair. I'd love to talk a bit more about BlinkInk now. You mentioned that you'd seen their work before and you'd love Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. How do you feel about starting the mentorship, and what are you hoping to get out of it?
Absolutely excited to start this mentorship with BlinkInk. It's an incredible opportunity to learn from industry professionals and gain insights into the animation industry. I'm particularly looking forward to understanding more about their creative process from concept development to production. I also hope to gain some insider knowledge about the industry, such as collaboration models and workflows. Additionally, I'd love the chance to connect with the BlinkInk's directors and learn from their creative experiences. Their insights would be invaluable in helping me refine my approach to storytelling and animation. Overall, I see this mentorship as a great chance to grow, and I can't wait to get started.
Amazing. I mean, it sounds so exciting. BlinkInk ran some really fantastic events at the festival, and I was sitting in and I thought, wow, that's going to be a really great year. Um, I want to know now about what made you actually want to submit to BFI Future Film Festival. Is it a festival that you followed before?
One of the great animated film I have been following was shortlisted for the BFI Future Film Festival, so I decided to submit my work as well. I didn't expect that in addition to the generous prize money, there would also be dedicated support for young creators. This was truly a big surprise. Although I hadn't followed it before, I will definitely keep following it from now on and hope to see more talented young creators emerging from the film festival.
That's good to know. And I'm sure, hopefully, some of those people will be watching this and will have seen your work and will be inspired to submit to the festival themselves. I know you've talked about how much work your last film was, but I do want to know, are you working on anything at the moment? Do you know what's next for you in terms of filmmaking?
Currently, I'm working as a background artist for Chinese animated film, and the work is now in the final stages. At the same time, I am also collaborating with a friend to plan a narrative-driven indie game. In terms of filmmaking, I'm also brainstorming some new scripts and exploring a new, unique, personal artistic style. I hope to create longer works, not just short films in the future.
I am incredibly excited to see what you do next. And so exciting that it's happening over so many different forms, like games and also longer form series. Um, as we kind of wrap up, I would love to get some advice from you for any young filmmakers who might be watching, whether they're animators or not, and maybe they're thinking about submitting to the festival. I mean, what would you say to them?
I believe that art is the embodiment of truth, and everyone has their own path to approach it. So any advice feels too restrictive. What I want to say is just go for it. There is no absolute right or wrong here, and that's a fascinating part of making films and animations. And that's all.
I mean, that's very inspiring. Thank you so much for talking to me today. It's been such a nice chat, and your film's brilliant. So I love watching it. And yeah, everyone watching, yeah, please do watch Unrecognized Character Detected. You can find that in a link to that in the video description. So please watch that if you haven't seen it already. Also tune in for next week's scene. So fellow BFI Film Academy young programmer Katja is going to be talking to Rana Mata about her film Your Voice Only, the winner of the Best Documentary Prize at Future Film Festival. So definitely check this out for more insight and advice for fantastic young filmmakers. Thank you so much.